Back to the bossa. This song has made more than a few musicians shy away and call for another tune. In this video, you're going to get a map of useful targets and why I picked them to use over Jobim's standard wave. Hi, my name is Jason Klobnak and I'm a jazz trumpeter from Denver, Colorado that helps musicians find a better way to improvise. If you're looking for a quick jazz improv tip that will help your soloing, then you've come to the right place. Who knows how many times you've heard this song, but how often does it get called on a jam or reading session? Not many, until it does by more seasoned players. Then what do? I love this tune, but never took the time to learn it, even after having an embarrassing moment on a gig when someone called it and I had to step aside. I made excuses in my head like, this doesn't get called that often anyways. Well, in this series, I'm forcing myself to learn more standards, including ones that might not get called often. If you're ready, let's map it out. If you're not quite sure what that means, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video and check out some of the previous masterclasses where we've mapped out other standards. Last week's video really went into what the targets are and why I picked them. I'd suggest that you check it out if you're still not sure or if you're just joining us. In wave, we have some key areas that we could use. For instance, we can look at the main key area of D major and quickly see we have a 2-5-1 to G major here in the A section. But the rest of the progression in the A section isn't nicely packed 2-5-1 key areas. They're kind of there, but not in the traditional sense. We absolutely could break this down and look at the theory behind why these changes are so beautiful, but I know you like these videos to be brief. So, should we look at building our targets in the micro fashion and aim at the chord tones? We could, but I know a lot of Jobim's writing has targets that move with great voice leading, which again means smooth stepwise motion in the upper extensions of chords. Those are the 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths. That doesn't mean that I won't use chord tones, but I notice something right off the bat that helps me keep some of those smooth common tones and stepwise motion in the beginning of the A section. Here's my map of targets I'm intending to hit along the way. I'm going to look for paths between the targets that are in close proximity to each other. As I get more comfortable with the form and changes though, I will eventually venture out and include more options. Ultimately, as I've said in other videos, the goal is to be comfortable enough with them that when I play with other musicians, I'm focused on musical communication with them and not the targets themselves. As you can see, my very first target is this E natural over the D major 7 chord. That's the 9th of the chord. And if I keep the target E natural for the B flat diminished, it becomes the 5th. And if I keep that E natural again on the A minor 7 chord, it becomes the 5th. Now the D7 flat 9 comes along and that E natural can come down a half step to an E flat, then take that down a half step to D to become the 5th of this G major 7 chord. I've said before in previous videos that great solos balance the expected with the unexpected, so I don't want to continue the common tone target approach the whole way through. So I've added the guide tones the remainder of the A section because they move smoothly in a stepwise motion down. The last two measures is this quick 2-5 pattern in C before taking us either back up to the A section or continuing on to the B section. I've heard so many soloists play some blues language here, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing. The B section is your typical key area harmonic movement, the key of F major here, and the key of E flat major here. The big difference is that Jobim gave the bass player the 3rd of the chord, or the flat 7 on the dominant chords, to change up the texture. Because of that, I've decided to keep the common tone idea through the bridge, but start on the 5th of the minor chords, which turns into the 9th on the dominant, and then steps down a whole step to become, guess what, the 5th on the major chord. This allows me to stay away from what the bassist is hanging out on and still create nice voice leading. Then we finish out the B section with an A dominant chord that is the 5 chord, taking us back to the 1 chord of D major. You'll notice on the target map, the slashes represent where I introduce tension to get to the next target. When I talk about using tools to get to target, those tools introduce tension before I get to my resolution. There are a number of tools that you can use to get to these targets. I'll use a variety of them in the play-along example. If you'd like to check out some of those tools and how to use them to get to your targets, there are links below in the description that you can check out. I'm going to play a chorus and then give you an opportunity to try out this map over this video as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has added value or benefit to your playing in some way. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell that's right next to it that lets you know when another video comes out. And if you know any other musician that might find this useful, you can share it with them too. Until then, my name is Jason Klobnak, and I'll see you on the next one.